If you plan on buying an iPad, well then you really need to know your priority because the iPad lineup as of now is a complete mess. Because there is the regular iPad in the 10th and the ninth generation format, then there is the iPad Air and iPad Pros, and it's like a ladder thing with overlapping prices. So if you haven't figured out what you need with the iPad, then you'll be confused a lot and might get the wrong one. But in the lineup, the one that I didn't mention is this guy, which is the iPad mini, specifically the iPad mini 6th generation or the 2021 iPad mini. And this one is actually the only one I feel is an easy decision because the iPad mini is actually not like the other iPads, but it is this compact tablet which is basically just good for certain things. And I've been using the iPad mini 6 for a long time now, and I can specifically point out which all are the things that this mini tablet shines and which are the places that this tablet falls short. Well, basically, this iPad is a media machine, a gamer's best friend, and also a fine Kindle replacement. These are actually the best case uses of this iPad, and it's firstly all thanks to this form factor. This is a compact tablet that is well designed with quality. The frame is aluminium, and the front glass panel all sets in well with this flat-sided design, and it did really age well. My unit was not babied, and still it looks clean, and also all the buttons works perfectly. And here this power button has the Touch ID scanner and it works at a moderately good speed. And here the tablet is sturdy with not much flex, and also the weight is very manageable. And all of this makes the iPad mini 6 a very portable and easy to carry around tablet, and that's been a thing I loved with the iPad mini 6. And here, even though the iPad mini 6 is a compact device, the display is sufficiently big. The display here measures 8.3 inches and it has 327 ppi pixel density, and overall this laminated IPS LCD panel is a good one. The viewing angles are neat, and also the peak brightness of 500 nits is fine too. Now the jelly scrolling effect is noticeable at instances, and if you're a person who gets carried away with it, well then you won't like it while browsing around. But here, as I said earlier, this is a media machine because this display is pretty solid for watching videos, and that's something I've enjoyed in the mini. You get a much better experience than any big phones, and also for a loudspeaker viewing experience, the dual speaker setup used in the mini is good. And here this compact form factor and good display makes the iPad mini 6 a great handheld gaming device too. Now for a good gaming experience, you surely need sufficient horsepower, and the processor used here, which is the A15 Bionic chipset, is still a powerhouse. There wasn't any heating issue or slowdowns, and even though the RAM is just 4 GB, I didn't face any performance issues with the Mini 6. And that's why I preferred the Mini 6 as a gaming device too. Now later on, Apple will surely update the Mini to a 7th generation one with a better processor, and that will make the experience better for gaming and stuff. But here with the Mini 6, well, as of now, the moderately indent stars works perfectly fine. But then one thing I'm not a fan of is the storage space in the Mini 6. The base variant is just 64 GB, and that's too low. And after this, the next option is 256 GB, and that variant is a lot expensive. That's the main problem with the iPad mini 6. I mean, Apple's strategy here is to force you to get the expensive variant, and here since Apple is setting this tablet as just a media machine, spending that much was not something I wanted to do. Because here this tablet doesn't support Apple's Stage Manager or the Pro apps, and hence you are very much restricted. But again, since the base variant storage is too low, you need to think how you will be using this tablet. And if it's just casual usage, then the base variant is doable, and then the price will not be that insane. Now the iPad mini 6 does have Apple Pencil 2 support, which is great, but for drawing and taking notes, I did prefer the bigger iPad over the mini. And here the last thing I preferred using this iPad is for reading. And for that, it works great. Well, it's not gonna give you a perfect Kindle experience, but again, I did enjoy reading books and articles in the Mini 6. And for doing all this, the battery backup was not that bad too. In fact, with my moderate usage, I just had to charge it in 2 to 3 days, and when the charging was needed, the iPad mini 6 uses a USB-C charging port, which is neat. Now if you're into cameras in the iPad mini 6, well, the main camera is a 12 megapixel f1.8 aperture one, which is a good one for scanning dogs or maybe for some casual clicks too. And here the most important camera, which is the front camera, it's also a 12 megapixel f2.4 aperture camera, and it's an ultra wide angle camera, and this one is a solid one for video calls. And with Apple's center stage, this camera is a very handy one. And also, I didn't have any issues with the Wi-Fi and Bluetooth connectivity, and if you're looking for a cellular variant, well, that variant does support 5G. So overall, this is what the iPad mini 6 is. Now the mini series has been somewhat the same type of tablet for a long time, And I feel it's gonna stay like that even with the next upgrade. And that next upgrade might happen soon, and if you're a person just looking to buy a mini type tablet, well then I will surely suggest to wait a bit more, because when the new mini comes out, it will be having upgraded specs for sure, and then this mini 6 will see a price drop too. And I feel that would be the time to get the mini tablet if you're into this type of form factor. Well, that's all for this video guys. Hope you liked it. If so, like is much appreciated. And also don't forget to subscribe to the channel because you won't miss our future contents too. See you again in the next one. Till then, bye.